It's being 7:02, Dunbarton Board of Selectmen meeting for March 7th, 2024. All three selectmen are present. Mr. Leo Martell is recording for the citizens of Dunbarton. We have the police chief in the audience. We also have the town administrators here. Excuse me, I stand corrected, fire chief in the audience. And we have a few other town officials here. We have the town clerk, deputy town clerk, town moderator, and former town moderator. Welcome, everybody. Gentlemen, I have some minutes, if you just give me some
I'll make a
recommendations.
motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from February 22nd, 2024, as amended by Justin.
I'll second those.
Any discussion on those?
Very well done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna open up for public comment first. I'll start in the back row with, Mr. Martell.
Yeah, Lee Martell, last week, one of the members of the select board thanked me for my input, and I just want to say it's not for you to thank us. It's these people on this side of the room that should be thanking you for the opportunity to, take part in the meetings. So it's, you guys aren't infallible, so it's good to be able to, chime in.
Well,
You guys allow that.
My philosophy is like, we all have our areas of expertise, and sometimes it doesn't exist up here, and we rely on the audience to,
Yeah, a
provide
lot of
good
time it
input.
doesn't exist up there.
Okay, but thank you.
All set.
Anything else in back row? Chief?
I'm
Anything
good.
for the general comment? You're on the agenda, so,
Just looking at the toys and the
Yeah.
catalog.
understood. Okay, close public comment, bring it to town business. Steve? You're up.
You're up.
Come on up, sir.
Mike, in your packet, you have the stuff from Donna. That packet I gave you, everything's in order.
Thank you. I understand you've been working with the state.
Yes,
How's it been going?
okay, this is, the state did, Scott did the inspection on my solar panels,
Scott Johnson, yes.
and I have completed all the lines. All the lines are done on this one.
Now, you got a new one since that, right, Steve?
He keeps coming up with new, but this is the first one that he did the inspection to me.
Yeah.
And, then I had few things to fix,
Yeah,
then he did the second inspection, and everything is done on this list.
okay. Cause when you asked me to come in and check with Donna to see what was done and what wasn't done, I checked with her, and I think the state inspector went out and did one more inspection, and he has just a few final things to have you sign off on.
Did he get a copy of this one?
He should have, yes, I went to him.
Okay, there were only two lines? on
It's,
that
yeah,
one?
it's dated three things, about wires, service, grounded, and then piping. It's dated February 26th.
Yeah, well, everything is done, except they added two things. One is, the back of the panel, he's telling me I should put,
A structural brace.
your brace or, I think something kind of, okay, so one thing is for me, when you do inspection, you do the whole thing, don't tell people.
Don't do a piecemeal.
Huh?
Yes, but the issue I find is, they may go out one time,
Yeah,
see 90% of it, miss 10%, then when they go for the re-inspection, they're human, they may find additional
yeah, but we
things.
specially called him for this,
Understood,
okay, and he should have gone through the whole thing.
yeah.
Now, here is what those things they call you to put some kind of mesh behind it. And I asked him why I want to do that, and he said, well, somebody walks in from the woods and hangs on to your wires. Doesn't make sense to me at all. Why would anybody come and hang on to the wall in there? I never seen anything back there other than the coyotes, okay?
I didn't see that on the report,
I was
was
just
there, Mike?
saying,
That was on the first one, it was a
wires accessible.
grounding mechanism that was behind the panels that brought the wire to the back of the ground.
So what I did, I went down the road, and there is another one system just like mine.
Okay,
And I took the picture, and I can show you the picture, there's nothing on it. Okay. Now, there's the picture there, if you want to take a look.
well, the thing is, I'm not the subject, this board is not the subject matter expertise here.
You know what I'm saying is, it's nothing on it.
We gotta be treated fairly, I understand that.
that doesn't make any sense to me that, put a little mesh, if somebody wants to go hang on to the wire, he's gonna do it even if you have a mesh in there.
Yeah, but I don't think these three comments that they're asking for now have to do with that.
There's three small items that they
I
need
think
to
the top
finish.
one, man.
Oh, wires accessible behind the panel.
Okay, and the other one is, that the grounding wires, okay? So actually I put 3 8-foot rods there.
Right.
Gave him the picture, brought the wire, hook it up, and brought it to the meter where it's gonna be, okay? So he was telling me that, why didn't you connect it? I said, the meter is sealed, I can't go inside the meter, okay?
Catch 22.
Okay, so I said, I have everything ready there, only there is a screw to be put in. Then when the guy comes in, I'll open the meter, I'll put the screw in. Everything is up there, up to that is.
You're talking about when the service company comes out,
Yes.
public service, whatever,
Yeah.
Eversource.
I think he's almost there, Dave. It looks like he's just about you have a few small items to finish up and you'll be done.
No, there, what is the else? There's one there.
The last one is the underground piping.
Okay, that piping, see, when the first time he came in, he asked me, the conduit, and he said, anything comes out of the ground has to be metal, okay? Which I changed, but I asked him, what about the conduit inside the ground? And he told me that's fine.
Yeah, he's not, I don't think he's saying it's not, he wants to check the depth of it.
So now he wants me to dig up everything, okay?
Not everything, he said just spot check it.
No,
So dig it up in a section here and maybe a section further down, so you can visually check the depth. And also look for your safety tape in there.
safety what?
See,
Safety tape, so when people dig, they hit the yellow caution
It's like a
tape.
bright yellow, warning label.
It's my backyard, I have grass over there,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, it's still, it's like,
That's code.
yeah, for example, I have a gas line, and they were yelling at me because when I first installed my gas line, there was no, it's like a warning tape. When you dig into the ground, you have to have warning tape that you're gonna hit a gas line if you keep going. It's like a little piece of, Mylar tape that you put in the ground. John, am I describing it correctly?
But if you were to plant a shrub or a bush and you dug down, you'd want that tape in the ground, that's one thing they wanna check for.
okay? So the digging up there, that is the problem here, okay?
It shouldn't be very shortly, we're losing our frost quick.
Well, I know, but see, meaning, how deep it's supposed to be? I dug it out with my tractor, as far I could go. So,
I don't know what the specific, how deep does it have to be, that's,
Well, it's in the regulations. I'm not sure if it's 30 inches or.
this was never said to me till the end of the inspections, I mean, there was nothing here inspected, they said. So you guys told me what he does, that's what it is, and I have done that.
Steve, it looks like you're very close to being complete here with just a couple of small things.
No, but there's nothing in there here though. The inspection, the state inspection did not say anything about it.
Yeah, but we can't go, as a board, we can't go backwards on the state inspector or our building inspector here. See, before the towns had a building department, selectmen used to give the permits out. But they determined that it was easier to have a building department, so the selectmen didn't have to make judgments on each individual item. So now that we've hired a building inspector, and they have a state inspector involved as well, it wouldn't be right for us to overstep on their jurisdiction.
Yeah, but there's nothing here. You guys promised me that we're gonna get the guy over there, and whatever they say it goes, okay?
Yep.
That's his thing there.
And these are the last things that the state inspectors asked for, and Mike said Brian said when these are taken care of, he's gonna be all set with it.
Brian said that. Good, I think we're almost there then.
I know, but it's, that digging up would stop it, nothing here.
Now, you're not digging the whole thing up, follow me, now you're just gonna dig down so they can visually look at it.
Did you get it inspected in the first place when it was
No.
originally done? So then you skipped that step on the original.
Yeah, but the
install,
problem
you
is,
can't- So you can't be mad when someone asks you to
No, no,
redig
no,
it up for
To
inspection.
me, it's like a gas line. I had a gas line put in my house. The builders didn't wanna do it because it was full of mud. I had mud up to my waist virtually. So I dug it myself. I put it in there, and the thing is, no one told me about having to put sand around the pipe, the gas pipe. And the thing is, I had to move the tank, and the contractors came in and said, who the hell put this pipe in there? Because it was put in the ground wrong. thing is, the inspector's gotta see the pipe, make, the conduit, make sure it meets specifications, that's all it is. They can't look, they're not mind readers, they can't look with x-ray vision, they gotta be able to see the pipe. And what Dave's showing, they don't wanna see the whole, they're gonna spot check you along the way, to make sure it's passes, that's all it is. Am I helping or hindering you?
No, what I'm saying is, I mean, when I have to pass this, I have to dug up the whole thing, and then I have to, if it's not deep enough for him, then I have to go underneath, you know,
That may be the
That's all
case.
part of the code.
you know. You see, when I built it, okay, nobody told me anything about he's gonna come for inspection, or they tell
Well-
me it's in the permit you took, okay? So the only problem with me is I am not a builder or anything.
Yeah, but you can't claim negligence and blame it on us for inspecting it properly.
What happens is typically, somebody doing a job this large would hire an electrician. Electrician would come in and pull a permit, and they would know that they've gotta go down those steps. You can do that part yourself, and you're allowed to do it that part, but you're not allowed to skip the steps just because you don't know them.
I didn't skip anything.
No, it's just like, you can do electrical work in your houses, you don't have to have an electrician do electrical
Yeah.
work, but if it's not the code, you gotta do it all over again.
But I do think being able to spot check it like they're talking about
No,
here.
do I have to dig you know, the.
Conduit?
Huh? No, conduit is the only one I have to dig, or anything else I have to dig?
According to that, he wants. But did you put the warning tape in there?
No, I don't, I gotta find it, you know, I'll put it.
Okay, if you didn't put the warning tape, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna look for the warning tape, if the warning tape's not in there, it's all gonna have to be dug out. Because you're gonna have to insert that warning tape in there. Am I correct, Dave? Just, yeah.
Typically, yeah.
So you telling me I can't use that?
I
That's
do-
where you coming down, because.
No,
My
I
system
want you, I want you to use it, I just wanna make sure that, you meet the state's happy with it.
My system is so strong, it had 50 miles an hour gusting wind and didn't budge it.
Understood.
So it is strong. But now you're nitpicking, you know, I mean, 18-inch over here and this and that.
It's not nitpicking, it's the code.
It's cold, right?
Oh, I understand it's a code, but I did it myself, okay?
That's not the
So
issue.
not
You
that
do it, you do
ignorance of the
something.
lies or not, I know
But it
that.
still
you-
has to be the
I,
code.
Young guy over there.
I put a generator in my home, and during an ice storm, 3 weeks later, the state changed rules, and is now 2 feet too close to the house. What did I have to do? I had to buy more gravel, I had to move it personally, just 2 more feet, because I'm saying, this is ridiculous, but it's state law, they wouldn't give me a
So
permit
the
for it.
straight lies right here. You told me, this guy,
Right,
whatever tells you, we do that, and that's what did it, nothing or anything about it.
but he did a follow-up.
And now I have to scrap the whole goddamn thing, because you guys won't let me use it.
No, it's gotta meet code, it's gotta meet code,
Why did he tell me this year, when he did the inspection?
The thing is, he's human, I can't make an
He's
excuse
not
for
human,
him. I cannot make an excuse for the state
You
not
guys
picking something
specially
up.
called this guy to come, because, to do the inspection, and he didn't say anything about it.
Then he's at fault then, the thing is, we can't say you're fired because you missed something, but at the end of the day, he found 3 more items, 3 small items that need to be.
They're not
addressed.
small items, and digging up the whole goddamn thing is not small item.
Absolutely, but the thing is, it's part of, were they uncovered when he first went up there?
Listen, if when you are doing the inspection, you tell the guy the big thing first, okay? You have to dig up the goddamn thing, don't tell me about conduit or anything.
Well, what
I don't wanna know that.
what I think is unfair to you is that he didn't tell you the entire picture the first time around.
Yes,
And
right.
that's a lick on him because he didn't do the entire picture. But the thing is, you can't fault him after the fact if he found 3 additional items that need to be corrected.
Yeah, but the one is the big one, that's what he should have told me the first one. Because now I have conduit, now you are change the conduit, what he told me to do it. I put that this.
And I agree with you, but the thing is, they don't work for me, I can't say you're fired. The thing is, maybe the guy's not as competent as we'd like to see, but he's a state worker.
Yeah, but yeah, your fault though, not mine. I mean, now I have to scrap the whole goddamn thing.
I hope not.
Steve,
Go ahead.
Steve, I think we need to end this conversation.
Yeah.
I think that you have your answer from the board.
You
Okay?
suck, you know that, you all guys?
Well,
Well, terrible.
You say what you want about us, but I'm
Fucking
telling you, we're
idiots,
very,
all of you.
we're
One,
a very
two, and
fair
three.
board.
Please watch your mouth here.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm
Don't
gonna ask
talk
you to
me
leave,
like
okay,
that.
just
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
leave that, but you motherfuckers, all of you. I have fucking spent $8,000 and now I have to scrap the whole fucking thing. You fucking asshole. The whole fucking town is an asshole.
swear in front of me.
Fuck you.
Wow.
The thing is, for the record, the thing is, we have codes to follow, and the thing is all about safety, and that's the bottom line. He sells his house and they're not up to code, the next owners are gonna get basically potentially hurt, it's about safety.
I don't think the utility company will allow him to tie into the utilities if it's not tied so.
I got a comment,
So if he's the contractor, isn't the contractor responsible?
No, he's just a homeowner.
But he's the contractor,
Yeah, he's.
so he's responsible to know the codes.
Yeah, that's what I get.
right, it's like we know in town that you can do electrical work in your house, you don't
Right.
have to be an electrician, but it's gotta be to code.
Right, because as you said, if you sell your house next year, that fellow's stuck with that problem that you left if you didn't do
Amen.
it right.
The thing is, it's unfortunate he's frustrated, I almost feel for him, but the thing is, but that's why, if you're putting something in such as big, a lot of money investment, maybe you hire a professional to do it for you.
Yeah.
That's just, this is the
Do
nature
your
of the beast.
homework.
Right, I know a little bit about it, cause I was involved at the beginning, he never pulled a permit for electrical, that's his issue. So he didn't know the rules, cause he never pulled the permit, and he came and got the permit after the fact, and now it doesn't meet code, because he didn't pull the permit, and he didn't know what the codes were,
There
so
you
he
go.
just put it in himself, and now it doesn't meet code,
And the thing is, with all due respect, you can't MacGyver it and get it to pass.
exactly.
Mike knows because he tried it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mike's a guy.
You know, when this contractors came up, they were moving my tank, they were starting swearing at me, he says, who the heck, blank, put this gas line in, this is a time bomb ready to go off. I said, no one inspected it, and then I'm looking at myself and saying, I put it in. Well, did I know about the sand that you had to put it on the gas pipes? No. And the thing is, I actually did it wrong, and I hold the people who were working with me, they didn't wanna get their feet muddied.
the generator rules changed, see,
Right, in the middle of my
it's
installation.
no longer 5 feet in the clear,
What is it now?
manufacturer's recommendation.
Oh, jeez. But I just get a brand new generator installed, and like, it's 3 feet from the house, meets code. We have an ice storm in town, now it doesn't meet code 3 weeks later. No building permit, sorry, gotta move it.
You should hire that guy.
I tried. All right, gentlemen, let's move on, we're having too much fun. Okay, Mr. Moderator, please join us. And I'm sorry I made reference to you, but thing is, you were one of my mentors when I came to this town.
When was that?
This afternoon, I made, at the
You
meeting.
threw him under the bus?
I did.
Yeah. Get them straight. Just a couple of updates, again, set up on Monday, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, Woody will pick up and load everything around 2:30, so they should be at the school for 3.
And
Your assistance would be greatly appreciated.
And
Did you guys
Justin,
talk with
you
Woody?
can join the
Yes, we have.
setup. You're,
The one thing.
Yeah.
did, other person set up, the gentleman, did he talk to you?
I spoke with
Okay,
him.
thank you.
Yeah, I needed to find out when,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Just a suggestion again to review your duties in the election manual as far as what your responsibilities are, please.
Apparently I gotta touch every ballot, cause these two can't.
Yes, perfect. No, he's got a supplement pro town.
Justin is not gonna be in, Bob will be taken care of.
Did you have some duties for me, but not too many? It can't be tax burden, my brain might hurt.
Yeah, again, you can't, you're not touching any ballots.
Understood.
Mark
No.
ballots.
Mark ballots. The same with Jennifer is not being on the ballot as well.
Okay.
So, we would.
I don't think you should be creating either.
I'm sorry?
I don't think you should be creating people either.
No,
One year we had them do,
ballot clerk and that's it.
creating every person
The
wanted.
thing is, I might take some time off, if that's permissible with you, to go outside the voting, outside in the area, to maybe campaign. Outside,
Outside. yeah.
outside,
10 feet away, right?
exactly.
We'll keep them honest.
It's
Joe,
a-
you might,
You mean
yeah.
wrote them?
Linda is working out the poll worker schedule and the meals, get that straightened out, obviously before. And again, yeah, Don Larson has requested a table as well as the Girl Scouts for later on at the town meeting portion of the day. One item that I have not touched base with, where Joe is not gonna be there, is having a police officer there.
Dan Scoot will be there.
The entire
He's
day.
ours for the day.
Perfect, thank you. So that's all I had. Linda, do you have anything more?
Just other than, we've got a whopping 11 absentee ballots out and returned so far, but we will be open until 5 on Monday, in case anybody wants one at the last minute.
John, I get the best news. No snow predicted.
It's all right. I was hoping nobody would mention that.
That was for a smile effect.
Yeah.
May as well cancel the meeting.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye out on the weather.
We only have one contested race. Why don't you two go out and settle it, Mike?
Only the town clerk can do that.
I met her for the first time tonight, lovely young lady, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I had.
It'll be a long, slow day, I think, John.
Do you wanna talk about this?
Yeah, Linda did share that.
I was gonna say,
What is that?
Amendments,
The warrant
so
article.
the amendments to the
Right,
warrant
the thing is,
articles?
I understand there are some proposals we're gonna be talking to next with, John.
Well, why don't we have you guys stay around at least,
Yeah,
John,
I
for
will.
the,
Yeah,
Definitely.
and the thing is, we already warned Lean, it's gotta be written, ready to be handed into the moderator if there's any changes on the floor.
Yeah.
And so I
again,
think that,
we think that, yeah, so I'll let you guys discuss it and then we'll
okay,
continue to, yeah.
the thing is, you taught us well.
Thank you.
John, do you wanna bring them up to speed with the, fire truck that you went out to look at?
Yeah, so Article 8 was, is
you have.
not needed right now, so we're gonna pass over that article.
Do we
So
pass over, it? Do
however-
we have to vote no on
Let
it?
me see
We're
it,
gonna,
Mike.
we're gonna hear it, we're not gonna pass over it, we're gonna hear it. You need to educate the public to vote no.
Okay,
We're not gonna pass over it. We're
Okay.
gonna act on every article.
Whatever, I thought you could skip an article if it wasn't pertinent to anything.
Everything that I've read and seen, John, is you're better off to act on it,
Yeah, so just vote so it fails.
yeah. So
Okay.
again, just a matter of
it's just,
educating the people.
Well, I do know that reading some of the old meeting minutes from those, they did pass over articles in the past, that's what John's remembering.
Yeah, well, we used to go up and say this, for some reason this article is no longer
okay.
needed.
I have a former
so we
moderator, you wanna
skip it.
chime in, sir?
Yes,
Please.
going back over 20 years, my moderator's workbooks, and also seminars I've been to, they say it's bad form to pass over any article, because there's always a question about what shenanigans you guys are pulling here. And they said, according to the moderators at the workshops I've been to, said, your best bet, if it's not needed anymore, is bring it to the floor with a second and everything else, and people discuss it, and recommend you vote it down.
I have
I've
no
not
problem
done
with
that
that.
before,
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
yeah.
Or
And
amend
you-
it,
Then you get the desired results and no repercussions.
Amend it to
on
no money?
well, you can amend it to, if you want to use the money somewhere else.
John, I think a 3-sentence, a small paragraph by you saying that, well, we
Yeah.
acted upon it independently,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
and
great.
there's no need to spend that money, because we found a better, I don't wanna say deal, a better bargain for the town.
Yeah.
A more cost effective, and that's all we have to say.
And again though, John, just for my own edification though too, so do you have enough money in the account already to purchase the vehicle that you wanna get now?
Yep.
So I think just being forthright with the people saying,
Cause last year we voted to be able to spend that money during the year,
right,
which is in that account, and that's basically what we did. So now we
So you
don't
can
need
pass over the entire article.
So then,
anything,
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
need any money out of this account.
yeah, so again, I think it just so people
We're
can
gonna vote no in that
understand.
article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vote it down,
Yeah,
cause I've done that in the past,
Okay,
and then the people say there's no
Okay.
chance of
Elaborate if
any
the general fund
shenanigans
is
being
used
pulled.
as tax.
Yeah, and just the whole thing and everything lapses
Okay.
away.
Yeah.
Not
all right,
used.
and then continue, John, please.
So, I'll recommend voting no on that article.
correct.
Then 9,
Should we go back to 7 first?
7, okay, we go to 7. 7's to see if the town will vote and appropriate the sum of $75,000 to add to the fire department emergency vehicle capital reserve fund for the purpose as summarized in the capital improvement plan. So there's no change there.
No change here.
No, but there was discussion at the board as to.
Now, you don't need that money any longer.
Well, we still need to fund our capital reserve fund.
Right, but do we need to do it in the form of 75,000? We were doing that large amount to make sure that we had funding for that more expensive fire truck.
Yeah, you can cut
You
it back
need-
if you want, but,
You need more money for the ambulance, right?
yeah,
We could also amend that article. Okay? Change
then
the
this one
dollar
right here,
amount. We could
Seven.
amend that one, instead of the fire truck, we could do it, amend it to the ambulance. Is what my thought was, and we could change the dollar amount, and the rest would just go back to surplus. Same as the 56,740. So we can make a quick amendment on that article number 7 to take care of your ambulance fund. So my thought is, why don't we start at the ambulance and tell us
It's a
your
different,
thoughts
it's a different
on that?
fund, it's a
it's
different
a
pot of
different
money.
deal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like to still keep this in here, if you wanna reduce the money, the dollar amount to like 60,000 or something, but this is going into the cap reserve with the other one.
Well, how much will you need on the ambulance capital reserve?
That's a different.
It's a different fund.
Yeah, well,
So
we
do
do
you-
gonna need some additional money there.
In the capital reserve fund, as of January 31st, is $369,926. You all have a copy of the balances. For the fire truck. You guys just approved spending $295,000 of it. So that'll leave about $75,000 in the capital reserve.
Yep.
That's what we'll have, without this warrant article.
And adding 75,000, since we have the surplus now, I think we've gotta look towards the future in the sense that within 5 to 10 years, we'll be buying a second fire truck to replace the fleet we have
Yeah,
now.
plus other vehicles, but in Article 8, that 56,740
Gonna go back to, that's gonna go right back to surplus.
could be put into the next one for the ambulance.
Well, that's what I was thinking, that,
Then there wouldn't be,
because we were
just move
voting
that
no
from
on
8
that
to
one,
9.
I thought it'd been easier to amend Article 7 is my thought.
In your thought, it might be, but accounting is a nightmare.
Right, I agree, it's because it's a different
What's
pot
the
of money.
difference between 8 or 7? You're amending one of the articles either way.
8, we're.
8 is going away.
It's going
Vote
away,
no.
we're in tube it.
Well, listen, he's saying he'd like to use the 56
Right,
cents.
56
He wants
is
to
in
use
there.
money from somewhere.
Okay.
I thought Article 7 was a cleaner article to use it from. Cause if you look at all the wording in Article 8, like he said, we had already done that on the prior year, that wording, so we don't need that at all, Article 8. So Article 7 is just funding a capital reserve. We could change the name and the amount on Article 7.
Yeah, we go over 8, then there's an amendment to 9, which includes that money in there. So, you do away with 8 altogether, right?
Correct.
And then in 9, we're asking for that 54,000 out of the unassigned to be put in this article with the
I
ambulance.
think it's cleaner the way John's presenting it. Justin?
You can't. Either way, it's gotta be amended.
Yeah, that's what, the new.
The new
yeah.
9 is amended with
New line is
the
amended, just one
54
article
in it.
amended.
And 9 is amended for
And it's simply amended because inflation has plagued us again.
Right, we thought we could buy the ambulance for $296, we just got 4 bids back. And unfortunately, the chassis prices change monthly now. And, you know, they're hard to come by, but anyways,
Now, you originally, John, this is 9 is the ambulance, right?
Yep.
You originally had one for what, 280-ish?
294.
You had a bid on one for 280-ish.
I got 4 bids right now.
Right, when you
Three-
came to us, to the board,
I didn't have a bid when I came. We just thought we could buy one for less than 300,000. I didn't have a
you had a
bid.
bid, you gave me a number.
I had a bid for the fire truck.
No, you had a bid for the ambulance. The reason why I know that is because you asked for the full amount out of the ambulance fund
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks later, and I said, why isn't he asking for the 281,000, which he said he needed? And, she told me it was to outfit the new ambulance, make sure you had enough money in there to outfit it, that's why you're taking all the money out.
No, we never talked about outfitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You came in 2 weeks later.
But regardless, where we are today, and that's where I wanna go today, where we are today, it's gonna cost more. He's got 4 valid bids,
Possibly cost more.
possibly cost more.
Right. But we just wanna kinda have a safety valve. I got 4 bids right now.
Yeah,
three, are over 340. One's at 340. He's 350, but they're giving us 11,000 for our old ambulance, which brings it to 349. 339, or 340. So, and we have one bid under the 296. He's at 280 and some change.
Yeah, that's the one you told us
That's the one you
about.
were talking about.
Yeah, this is a different price though.
Okay, but that
Yeah.
is what you give
But I
us
never
that
talked about
information.
outfitting the ambulance, with using all the money, but, so we do have one bid today.
Cause our original one was what, 336 in that fund?
No.
The original was 293, I think it was 289 and change, you said let's use
290
up all the money. and
It's
so we
been
updated.
296 all along.
296?
And you just gained a little bit because we just got a new update on the account, so
That's
there's
correct,
a little
yeah.
more in there
Yep.
than when we first talked. So I have one bid under the 296. So, but we haven't sat down with the guy yet, gone line by line through it. And we might be able to buy that for 296. And then we won't need the extra money.
But between now and
But-
Tuesday, I wanna give you enough
Right.
latitude, so if it
But
costs more,
if something happens,
Exactly.
we need to have a little cushion in there.
it's called latitude, I call it.
Yeah. So a little safety valve, so if for some reason the guy that's at 280,
So
so we go over the bid.
I look at it right now, we're gonna
Can I-
vote,
Can I ask you a question? Why aren't you matching the dollar amount up front so that all the rest of your numbers don't mess up? The 56,740 instead of 54,000.
I can, he said, let's do 350, so in his, if you look at
The
this.
reason why is if you use that same amount, 56,740, our other pages that you've already done, our worksheets, all will work still.
I see what Dave's trying to say, instead of using 54,000, just use the same amount that we pegged in
Just
for
take that
our.
money up
I mean,
there
all of our
and
budgets,
move it
all of our
down to
numbers
there.
we've worked for 2 months on,
Alright,
are by $2,000 different.
the thing is, we're gonna hold you not to spend it though.
Yeah, I mean, we might not. It's just,
No,
It doesn't matter if we spend it or not, it's still gonna stay in your fund.
we'll go back
Well,
to,
the surplus will not,
Surplus?
if he,
Does
he
that
has to
surplus money?
expend his ambulance fund first, and then the surplus second.
Dave, I see what you're
And
doing, I
if it
agree with
doesn't,
you.
if it
Yeah.
comes under, then the surplus,
It's so, it makes, at the end of the day, it makes the numbers
All
make
our
sense.
numbers will work, cause we were working on the
Town
budget
meeting
numbers
too,
for a
like,
long time.
They'll say, oh, that's the
Okay.
same number from this,
Right.
that's this.
Alright, so the thing is, at this point, I agree with Dave, we want we to pencil and then get rid of the 54,
and put in 54,740?
No,
Yeah.
56,740.
56,
Look at the number just above it.
Yeah,
56, yes, okay,
and just, instead of 350, you gotta add and make sure the numbers match.
They're
okay,
gonna be more
56,740,
comprehensive at town meeting
Yeah.
too.
got it.
That way they can see what we're doing with the money.
Okay, and then reduce the ambulance funds withdrawal less to add up to 350, got it,
We can do that, yeah,
that's what I have to do.
yeah, it's a little math exercise. John, you happy with that?
Yeah, or change it to 3.
And I'm gonna say that, Mr. Moderator, you're happy with that?
Again, so, I'm the member of the public, I've never heard any of this. Number 7 stays as is.
Correct,
Number 8, read the article,
two,
it's accepted, yeah, you need to explain, you no longer need that to occur because you have
Yep.
sufficient money from last year.
so that actually is no. We
Yeah,
vote
so
that no.
vote no. I think my recommendation, a bunch of people need to get up and just remember, vote no. Article 9, read it, except it'll be amended, and again, like you're saying, I totally agree, yeah. So the 56,740 coming from surplus is what
On
we
8.
didn't spend up above in article number 8.
and the question, why we're doing that? The prices are going up.
Right. Yep.
So the new article amended will read 350 total, 293,260 from the fire department equipment non-lapsing fund, and the sum of 56,740 from the unassigned fund balance. Is that what you want?
I think we're in consensus here.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, just basically moving money from one article to the other.
Right.
So you realize we should have this amendment in writing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I was working on this,
Otherwise, the moderator will say, have a nice day.
We'll have a handout
yeah,
also, so people can grab them and read them if they want.
yeah.
Fred's laughing back there, he's absolutely, I'm spot on correct, yes?
My sensei. He's my sensei.
Absolutely, okay.
So will we read Article 9? And then read the amendment?
Yep.
Yeah, you have to read the original,
And then we'll read the amendment.
then you make a motion to amend the article as written, and then read it.
So it'll be 352, 740.
Get it in writing, John, because the moderator won't accept.
No, I'm gonna reduce,
Gonna reduce money coming out of the withdrawal fund.
yeah,
Why are you doing that?
just to keep it flat. See, there's only 296 in his special fund.
We're holding John to
We're gonna
350K,
change
no
it to
more,
two
not a penny
ninety-three,
more.
Yeah, yeah.
60, and then use
That's
that
fine.
fund here, so it still comes at 350.
I see.
And that'll give him like $1,000 balance.
Okay.
Everything's good.
Dave, that was a good suggestion, and I think John, we're all happy with it.
Yeah, makes sense. I think it's gonna be easier to explain it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
Okay, anything else, John? When do we take
None of
delivery on the
this.
when do we take delivery on the new fire truck?
Well, that's another story we can talk about.
I'm sorry, we have a question?
Yeah, would you mind reading the amendment with the prices in it, just to clarify?
Okay,
so
Lean,
we'll-
if you,
I'm going to send you the new ones, obviously.
go ahead and read it for the,
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $350,000 to purchase a new ambulance and to authorize the withdrawal of $293,260 from the fire department equipment non-lapsing special revenue established in 2001 for this purpose, and further to fund the sum of $56,740 from the unassigned fund balance. So I'll make sure the
And so if
spelling.
he doesn't use it, it'll be back in surplus next year.
So the
Right.
350,000 figure
Stays.
stays
Stays
the
the
same.
same.
Okay, thank you, that's
And
what
the
it
two
was.
96 is going to the 293.
3260, which
Correct.
I will update the numbers, and then I noticed here I did not spell out.
My thought was just to make that 350 just different and not change anything else, but.
it'll still be 350.
Wanna get signs out now for Article 8?
Oh, geez, okay. Anything else, John?
No.
I just wanna say publicly, thank you for what you did in finding that surplus vehicle. You saved the town some dollars, thank you.
So
Well,
when,
I'm
we-
thinking, yeah, it might break
when
down.
can we talk about that?
Oh, don't tell me it's gonna break down on the way.
No?
You
Hopefully
can
not.
talk now, John.
You can talk now if you want.
You
Yeah.
got the floor.
So, you know, we went down, did the inspection, it's everything we thought it was. It's in their shop today, or Monday to put it in their shop to go through it and do everything you gotta do. They sent us the signed contract with it, they have a year contract, warranty with it, and we gave it to Lean today. They use a third party for the warranty,
Okay,
explains the whole rules. We asked them to, you're gonna build a compartment in the back to store 2 lengths of hard suction hose that we don't, that we
for pond
need.
work.
There's a shop in town that he uses, he's gonna do that. And we asked them to put a camera on the truck. Most every new vehicles have a rear camera, just a safety thing for backing. So we asked them to throw in if you install a camera, monitor in the front, and you can also, at some other point, upgrade it to like a dash cam too,
Okay,
in the same system. A lot of new apparatus has that. I know the Hooks at Fire Department got in an accident a couple months ago on their trucks, and the guy was trying to say it was a different story what caused the accident, and he had it all on camera.
that would make the
Back
news
the whole,
big time.
back the whole story up, and, but ended up, totaling the trucks, they wanted to do them for 3 years, but, anyway, so we asked for the camera and fabricating that, compartment to carry the hose. So that's gonna be like an additional $5,000. He sent me all the proofs on lettering it, it's gonna be lettered this week. He's adding some additional lettering that, we really didn't have on this one that they're gonna put on. And then he sent me a quote today, or yesterday, on transportation. Right.
The heavy's coming down.
Yeah, they want $2,000 to drive it here, and they want $3,000 to truck it here.
That's not that bad.
No, you don't think so?
Is it either or?
That's a
Or
big
both?
truck.
Huh?
Is it either or?
No, we pick what we want.
Oh, okay.
You can go.
Yeah.
Breaks things off.
So,
I would truck it,
Truck it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's 400.
Not only that, if they get in an accident driving it,
No, it's still covered.
Yeah, they'd be,
yeah,
they
it
have,
means we wouldn't have.
right.
You wouldn't have it.
I mean, they'd be responsible for
We don't really.
Either way, they're insured, I mean, the driver's insured and the
Fires
truck's
up.
insured. So, I just want your thoughts on that. I mean, obviously, we could, go down and drive it home.
I'm leaning towards, I think we all are, having a truck down,
Okay, I am getting 2 more quotes,
okay?
see how,
And if you put it on our town insurance, you could drive it
Oh,
home
yeah.
also.
Yeah. I mean, I went down, drove our tanker home a couple months ago from southern Connecticut through Hartford at rush hour on a Friday afternoon, and Springfield through Friday
The
rush
town of
hour.
Arrow, the town of Arrow
I
did
made
get
it
a
home.
vehicle down there also.
Huh?
And he was saying the same thing.
Town of Arrow did get a.
Yeah,
vehicle,
yeah,
They
yeah.
got a
They
command
knew the
truck.
chief and his story about
All right.
his
but
issue.
we
But
want-
anyways,
I
I'm
wanna
getting
give-
2 more quotes. A guy in Hopkins does a low bed service. He,
Okay.
he hauls, he works with Marcus. He's giving us a price, but I had to send him some, dimensions on the truck today.
Well, let us know, then we'll give a recommendation and decision on it,
And then the guy in Bow's gonna give me a price, so
okay,
might be more, might be less.
okay, just
But-
let us know, I think
I'll
we're,
come back before we,
but I think we're in consensus, we like to have it at least shipped here,
okay,
which is,
But-
I think, the path you're pursuing at this point.
yeah. Cause he wants to know to bill us out, you know, he wants to get the paperwork all together, which route we wanna go on
The
transportation.
vendor, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, understood, okay.
But, before we make a decision, we'll obviously run it by you. But those are the 2 options right now, or 3, go drive it. So,
Well, that's worst case scenario, the thing is, that's a. Okay, any other questions from John?
No, just if you need a decision earlier than later, just have Lean email it to us, and we can respond back to her.
We can't make decisions by email, it's gotta be a special meeting.
No, we can send her back a decision, we just can't
Uh,
discuss it amongst ourselves.
Yeah, we should know by the end of this week,
Okay,
prices, and then you can decide what you wanna do.
anything else, John?
That's it.
I still say kudos to you, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Because you did I've been bragging about you saved the town almost 200K. That's not chump change.
Nope.
Okay, warrant articles, we've talked about that. We have a packet to discuss the subdivisions, frontage of class 5 and 6 roadway. I'd like to say, first of all, I was talking to Donna this week. Donna gets a shout out because she did a lot of homework with assistance from Lean, talking to our lawyers to get some guidance of which path we should follow. I think it's still a work in progress, she's still trying to get some answers delineated from our lawyer for his recommendations. But, I don't know if I wanna go through this now, but I would we could read that and discuss it next,
I've read it, Mike, and I think the final packet from Donna
okay?
explains it just how it really needs to go down, where they're gonna have to go through that process of the Conservation Commission having that meeting, that public
First.
meeting first.
Absolutely.
Which I told Lean if they wanna do it on the 21st, which is our meeting date, they can,
Okay,
only because they couldn't do it because their members weren't here for their meeting.
okay,
Alright, so if they don't wanna wait an entire month, I'm okay with doing that joint meeting on the 21st. So we need to let
Thursday.
Donna know that.
yep, I have no problem with that.
So, if that's okay, then the whole process, the way the attorney says it, would go through the planning board
Correct,
with the recommendations for the turnaround and the upgrade from class 5 roads.
Almost
to
a
class
layout.
6. Yep, full layout,
yeah, at the cost of the applicant.
yep. And then it'll come to us for the final approval. And there's 2 ways which we can do it. If it's close enough to town meeting, we can just do a simple warrant article to accept as a class 5 section of road now.
Right,
And or we can do it in a public meeting, at the select boards, where we do it as a layout.
right.
He would have to he would have
The
to
layout's
petition
gonna be
for that.
determined anyways.
Yeah.
And so I say we go with the layout plan, and as we had public hearings in the past when we accepted roads.
Yeah, we'll have to reference the layout on the plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. For the public, what are we doing? Thing is, we have an issue with a road, which is a class 5 road, a class 6 road, the subdivision bisects the 2, so there's a portion of the road that needs to be upgraded, and we're just trying to get a path, which way do we follow, and how does the town upgrade that? Who pays for what, how do we accept the road as an upgraded road? A lot of legalese stuff, we're just trying to do it by the book, and
The
that's why.
biggest thing is the selectmen control the roads, the planning board controls the planning subdivision.
And as we found out, the road agent controls the specifications
Yeah, so,
exclusively. Okay, but it's a work in progress, and I think it's my concern to Donna, and I'm gonna say it publicly, I just don't want the applicant to be delayed more than he has to. And that's my concern.
I think
Yeah,
they
I
make
don't
some
think,
good ideas.
No, I think we're making good
I
progress.
think we can keep moving forward on
But
it.
I said, I wanna say publicly kudos to Donna, and kudos to Lean for giving an assist there, yeah, we got some legalese.
So if you wanna give Donna that path,
Mhm.
I think that's a
Yeah,
good
basically at our next planning board meeting.
So worst case scenario, conservation comes back and says they're not available the 21st, so we're gonna hold our public
Which they
hearing.
already said they
in
would be
April.
available.
Yeah, they already said we,
They would be available for the
Yes.
21st, okay?
yeah,
Then I'll just make sure that they follow their guidelines for a public hearing.
So they're gonna hold that meeting at our meeting, but realistically, we're not gonna be pretty much voting on it.
And the thing is, they give recommendations, which, that's all it is recommendations, but we can't just dismiss the recommendations, we need to look at them and see if they have merit.
What roadway is that?
Guinea Road.
Guinea Road.
And it's on the Stone Farm end.
And I was questioning, I was talking with the board chairman, and I learned something this week, about recusals. And, there are certain things you can be, you can have an interest and be recused, basically be unbiased. However, when it comes to abutters, there's case law at the Supreme Court that says if you're in a butter, you can't be part of the decision process. You have to be mandatorily recused if you're in a butter.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting, because Donna, the former chair pointed that out, and he was correct. And the former chair came to Donna, and Donna found the case law and presented it to me today. And so I learned something today. And whereas in some cases, you can be recused for other reasons, as long as there's no conflict of interest, you can continue your business. But when it comes to butters, no exceptions.
That makes sense.
Okay, all right, let's continue on, gentlemen. Number 6, review driveway regulations.
We all have a copy in your packet.
Yes, we do. Thank you. Thank you, John.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I'll send that out.
I may be sending some training articles to you,
Yes.
Mostly for Mike, I know.
mostly for you.
Touche.
See you later.
Okay, driveway regulations, understand the planning board was working on these with input from the road agent.
You can speak to your
You
resident.
did a copy of that.
Selectmen's rep.
Yeah, like I had mentioned last week, that these were brought to us at the planning board, last meeting a couple weeks ago, in collection with the road agent and the fire chief. They devised some driveway regulations that, the planning board had recommended and voted on to bring to us as a selectman to adopt as driveway regulations.
Like I've read them a few times completely now,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that there are a few discrepancies in there about what they're asking for up top versus down bottom.
Okay,
And I also saw a few other things, and I think some of their footages should be discussed, because I think 300 feet is pretty minor to have, some of those things in there, so I think there's some things that we should research as well. I know Donna did a lot of research, but we weren't privy to it, but before we accept those, we should go through some of that stuff with it.
can you put them in writing, pass them to Lean and share them? Lean, will you accept it and then share it with the rest of us?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'll put my
absolutely.
concerns, I'll email them to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yep,
So we'll table this for now for a
Yes,
decision, but,
exactly.
so we can do some more research on.
Work in progress. And the other thing is, there was something at the end I liked, in the event the site cannot meet these standards, road agent may require engineering plans with guardrail. In other words, I wanna make my driveway would not meet these requirements right now.
Neither would his,
And so there's gotta be some latitude in there for exceptions to the policy.
right, and the latitude and who's gonna enforce it, and who's gonna be able to give the latitude, 'cause
Right.
I know that we've been pretty reasonable as a town before, but I wanna make sure, like, if John's the one doing it, or the new fire chief, cause John's not gonna be there
Right.
forever, that the fire chief has latitude. Jeff will have latitude at the road, which is all he cares about. The fire chief should have some latitude with these regulations, cause what I can see from reading these regulations now,
They're restrictive.
they're very restrictive, and we'd have all kinds of people coming in for zoning,
Just the,
variances.
just the maximum allowable grade for a driveway is 10%. Well, mine, they make 10%.
No, and his doesn't either, the curves on
My
his.
2 neighbors don't make 10%, and no one makes 10% on Tucker Hill version, unless you're downhill.
So I wanna make it so that it's something you can look and say, yes, I can live with this one, and make it written in there that you have the authority to do that, because
Yeah, but
otherwise it's
most
a little
ordinances
too
has a,
restrictive.
right, has that exception in there, but they're not really that unreasonable. If you look at every other ordinance around the town of Dunbarton, we're loose cannons in Dunbarton. We let them do anything they want to. We have no say in what anybody does for a driveway. It's unbelievable, some driveways in this town. You would never get a fire truck up of them, you would never get an ambulance up of them. If you slip a fire truck off the side of it, you're gonna ruin it or roll it over or kill somebody. The town has gotta do something about driveways. And the person that's on them all the time, either delivering oil or going to emergency,
Okay,
our driveway in this town are really poor, really bad.
It won't
It's an
be
unsafe condition.
just tell me it won't be retroactive.
Yeah, no, but, you know, and I can't tell you what 10% grade either. You have to be like the town engineer would have to come out if somebody proposes a driveway. But,
But I
I
wanna
mean,
make
the
sure
good
that,
land is gone, people are buying land that, you know, look at Grapevine Road. How many complaints has the town got on Grapevine Road?
and it's not
On
over
those
yet.
3 lots,
Amen.
or 4 lots. I mean,
Guile Hill.
All right, I agree with you, and I think we need to have something a little bit more than we have now, I agree with you. And I think Dave just, his suggestion that we clean up some of the widths and measurements to make
Yeah.
sure they all match. Justin, you're happy?
Can I make just one comment?
Go.
This would apply to lots of record that aren't built on today, that might pull a permit to follow the guidelines, and or lots that are being subdivided for future.
That's the way I interpret it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
both, everything.
Right,
Everything.
absolutely.
It just doesn't say anything there, whereas I know originally we had,
It says something weird, like it includes
It's
all
to
lots.
be, but it's, yeah, it's to be adopted by the planning board. And,
No, it's got another note in there, I don't know where it is, but
recommend adoption by board of selectmen, planning board reviewed it, okay.
it's up at the top of it, I think.
John, I concur that, I think is, we should,
I mean,
We
you
don't
know,
have to be the
obviously you
Wild
don't want
West.
it too restrictive for somebody to buy, it's gonna be, you know, some outrageous cost, but on the other hand,
when the house is on fire, they don't want you to get up there.
Cause if you don't get there, you know, who's gonna be in the hot seat? Us,
John,
because
you
we
have-
didn't provide
Next
services.
year, we can have, make sure there's enough money in your budget to go out and look at all of these too. Right? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
a
gonna
lot of
be the
it's,
one
you know,
inspecting.
plans when they present, you know, present the plans,
Yeah.
and, you can review them, you know, see what they're proposing.
They
If
don't
you gotta
give
get
us
the
a
town
driveway.
engineer,
They
have
don't
to
give us a
require it.
driveway plan, we'd have to require a
Right.
driveway.
But the
Front
road agent does have input in some driveways, he does have to stamp the
Only the-
thumbs up,
Yeah, but only the first,
get the cut,
yeah,
that's all you worry about.
only the first 5 to 10 feet,
Yeah,
other than that, he doesn't.
agree with you, that comment.
Yeah.
Okay, let's table it for now, it's a work in progress. All right,
That's a start.
we are good for town business, I'm gonna open mailbox items now.
Alright, you wanna go over the board speakers, or is that just for us?
that's just for you, put in your town report when you bring it to the meeting.
Yep, we already did that, but, yeah, I think you weren't here, I think we gave you almost everything, didn't we, Dave?
No, I was here. Hey, don't start.
Okay,
All our, things are coming up.
all right,
I have-
let's, mailbox items. All right. Justin, I understand you're gonna work from Dunbarton Elementary School to be a guest reader on Thursday, March 21st.
No, when you weren't here earlier, we voted you.
We did do that, you gonna be okay with that one?
I may not be a selectman, I have to wait till
Oh.
Tuesday to see if I'm elected.
If you are, will you read?
I think I would consider that.
Okay.
If not, Dave will be your backup.
In fact, Dave will join me.
They're gonna have to increase their font.
Okay, what we're saying, the Dunbarton Elementary School is having a reading program. They want some adult readers to come into the school of stature, political stature.
Size, stature?
I didn't go there.
Don't you have to be literate?
And,
Just to say,
and-
I can't
and
give me a
to,
picture book.
and to read to some elementary school children, and I think it's a great thing. I don't mind supporting the school system.
You
But-
are gonna have to read slower though.
No, I read New England style. Get it over with quick.
You may wanna practice at the library reading to dogs.
Thank you, Bob.
That's a good idea.
All right, I'd say, we appoint those at the next meeting. We have time. Lean, could you send a response back that we will have a representative there?
I can, but you have to fill in your time and date,
But
and
the problem is
you all received this email, I
right,
just thought I would.
I may not be there.
Don't answer yours.
So have Dave pick the perfect time that works.
All right, Dave, you wanna answer that?
He's gonna be fine.
Okay, let's move on. Work in progress, but things, I might give her a call.
Okay,
Okay, I'll give her a call, let her know. This is Wanda White. All right, email from, encouraging towns to contact the representatives to vote no on HP 1479. I believe that's the, regulations kinda getting rid of the.
Takes the control away from the local government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be HB, I didn't
Yeah.
read there.
House bill, not HP. Thing is, we can reach out to our representatives, we have an area representative, J.R. Hole, and there's the second representative, for Dunbarton. We can reach out to them if we wanna have them vote on it. J.R. would be amenable to it, I think, just to hear our case on it. How we wanna handle that, gentlemen, any way to proceed on that one? When's the vote gonna be?
The email's in your packet, I just did a summary.
Can we do a board of selectmen letter, would that help to our representatives?
That's a good idea,
Or we just do a board of.
To both representatives.
okay, that works.
And we support, we're supporting, we're not supporting the bills, I understand.
Right.
It would take away like the NHMA, would take their ability to lobby for our small towns for an issue that may come up affecting small towns. Go ahead.
What bill are you talking about?
HB 1479, they take away the ability for organizations such as, new NHMA from lobbying on our behalf in something that, in the State House, for example. In other words, it's, I'll give you one example, if I'm not wrong. We pay our dues to NHMA, New Hampshire Municipal Association,
Okay.
with tax dollars.
Yep.
Because that's what we do, we get a lot of support from them,
Right.
we get legal opinions, we get information.
Right.
And they also lobby for us at the State House when there's an issue that affects a lot of towns.
It basically takes away the rights from a small town up at the state level.
Well, in what way is what I'm asking.
Because we're using government money or taxpayers' money,
Yeah.
and we can't use it, and NHMA
They-
falls into that
They're
category.
trying to tell us that they don't want NHMA to lobby for us.
That's right.
Okay, that's the gist of it, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and there are other organizations too, like, let's say you came to me and you wanted to lobby on behalf of Dunbarton at the State House. Well, how much you charging me? $10,000. We write a check for you, $10,000, go lobby for us. We can't use taxpayers' dollars. But NHMA is a proven entity
Right.
of supporting small towns.
Right, yeah, I get
For
it.
trainings and everything, a lot of
Yeah,
other
I
things
get
under
it.
that.
Yeah.
Small, annual fee that we pay.
So I think we should oppose this bill for that reason, and you can draft a letter
Yep.
to those two representatives who will vote on it.
Okay.
I explained it well enough, I wanna explain it well enough for the cameras.
I get it, yeah, right.
Okay, so we're good on that, gentlemen, move forward? What about the, emailed inquiry to prepay taxes? Lean, talk about that, please?
Well, I was looking through my legal binder for this, my legal folders for this inquiry for the, class 6 section, came across an inquiry that we had already posed to our, NHMA legal back in 2017, and he very clearly stated what the RSA is and how we would go about adopting it, and it's something that can be adopted at the level of the select board and not have to go to town meeting if the board so choose.
It's a whole different funding process too, right?
Right, but Judy, I spoke to Judy today, and I said, Judy, I don't know if you recall, she actually brought it to the board back in 2017. And at the time, she wasn't in favor of it, but she said that since she's been through several training classes along with communication to other towns and tax collectors, a lot of the towns do it and they don't seem to have any difficulty doing it, so.
I don't understand why somebody would take their money and pay the town early with it, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I don't think unless we get more inquiries about it, I don't think it's something we should.
it's just something for you to keep, for
Right.
your information.
Yep.
In the event people continue to approach you and say, listen, we wanna prepay our taxes
Well,
early.
I think the issue is what Ron Slocum brought up earlier.
Yeah.
And it kinda relates to that a little bit. We had an errant tax year last year because of, the year before was very low inflation, very low impact of tax rates, and then we had the perfect storm. Bonds, inflation, pay raises, and school went up 10%. 30% on the county side of school. It was a perfect year, the perfect storm where the tax rate mid-year was like small and it almost doubled at year end because of the way we do taxes. I don't foresee big
Well, it didn't
swings like
double,
that.
but
Well, it went from 11% to almost 22% in the fall,
Yeah.
if you look at it,
Just on their portion.
in their portion, yes, go ahead.
Well, everybody knows what the tax is gonna be for the year ahead of time. Like Dave said, why would somebody worry about giving, you know, if you paid $3,000 in May and you gotta pay $6,000 in November, why would you give an extra 1,500 ahead of time when you can, you
After
already
this
know
March
that
meeting,
money's,
they're gonna know
you
what
already
taxes are
know that
going
you're
up.
gonna end up having to pay it later
I
on.
think-
So it makes sense to put it aside.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I think the only reason it was brought about is he was saying it was because it was wrapped into his mortgage, so like, for instance, you guys are kinda talking about somebody that doesn't have it in their
Well, no,
mortgage.
but
So like,
it works the same way though. You're still gonna end up giving it to the mortgage company at the end of the year, so you can put that aside
Yeah,
until
correct.
then and, you know, not get that big bang. You're just putting it aside a little at a
yeah, but it
time.
kinda throws
The following
your payment off the following year, cause then they
Oh, I see.
change it all around.
Yeah.
Being in that scenario years ago, they mess with your whole payment the following year after that.
And it takes almost a year or two to work
And
out.
then it's like equalizing all out for the next year, cause they're basically figuring out.
I agree with Dave, I think we can table this for the time being, be aware of it if we get more concerns. And if the public really wants to do it, we can go forward with it.
Can I just say, I did ask that question of the tax collector, and she said the only area that she really thinks it could benefit is the ones that are always delinquent. So if they were able to come in, like we have painters, contractors, independent people that may not have a mortgage on their property, they pay cash, and they may come in, you know,
But
when
if
they.
they're delinquent, they can pay anytime anyway.
Correct, but if this would allow them to continue to make a payment plan on their own, and maybe get caught up eventually
But
instead
if
of.
they're delinquent, they can pay all the time anyway.
I would say,
We're talking about taking a prepayment when taxes
Yeah.
aren't due,
Right,
is what we're talking about, doing it.
I would say not needed this time, unless we get more
Yeah.
concerns.
And like Justin said, I would love to even
Seems
it
like
out
it'd
for
be
the,
more
but it's never gonna be evened out because we go through this March meeting, and then we really know what our taxes, cause you write down the board, what they'll be.
Yep.
Pretty much, but then it gets reset in October and gets adjusted, cause the state either gives us or takes funds.
Amen,
Yeah.
amen. Okay,
Yeah.
are we in consensus to let it slide, let it hold?
but it was good information that,
Yeah, it
you know,
is,
that
it
we
is.
have.
It'd be great if that was more evened out, but it's just no way to do it the way this is
Yeah.
set up.
All right, moving on, D, I'm
I
sorry,
was, I was just gonna say, if it became popular in town, it's gonna be a nightmare for the tax collector.
Right,
Well, she said that she spoke with other tax collectors and they don't seem to have a problem. Obviously, it's the setup of how you would collect it and what it gets, posted to, like a liability account,
and what fund we put it in, tracking it all,
yeah.
it'll be a mess.
I think the potential, it's an additional administrative burden put on the tax collector.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, email from Chief Furman regarding department action and 2 recent activities.
I have not seen that.
Can we email that out?
I think you all received it in an email?
Okay. One thing he
Can I
said,
read it, Mike?
I don't have it,
It's in there. It would be, D, labeled D on the top.
D at the top, okay, stand by, Dave.
You're not talking his regular,
No, it's the mailbox, has the letter D at the top.
Just say, I thought it was only monthly bond.
It was a monthly report.
yeah, I got that monthly report,
That's what it is.
doesn't sound like it.
Well, let's see what it is. Okay, Lean, I'm looking for D.
Hey, Ron,
You didn't have, oh, Dave, that's me.
Okay,
I do not have it.
I'll forward it to you.
Okay. One thing he brought to me today, and I told him not to be so humble, someone recommended him for a community award for his police actions in Dunbarton. And he kinda like started to refuse it, and I called him today, I said, be humble. Someone's nominated you, be humble to go be interviewed for this award. It's for the newspaper and a community award for his actions in Dunbarton. I said, someone obviously took the time to nominate him, don't diss the person who nominated you, someone thought highly of you to nominate him for that potential award.
that's actually what the email is, what it looks like, Mike. Email from Chief Road regarding department action to recent
Okay,
activity.
there's more to it than that. But-
Right, it's actually confidential, that's
Yeah.
why I left that general.
But the thing is, so I told him he's gonna participate in that award shall we say, inquiry for himself. I said, don't be too modest here, just accept it if it comes your way. All right, moving on, request to consider revising policy of Dunbarton solid waste operator training.
Can you go up one, letter E,
E.
handouts from DES, that you all received a copy?
Yep.
Not everyone was present at the, public hearing for the school. There is a lot more information than is in the town report, well.
Yep.
Clearer information than what's in the town report and, what was mailed to you, so.
Well, the good news is, I just like the public hearing of the DES, their tax increase went down. You remember, it was about 11%, 10-11% last year, it's down to 6.5, but it's still a little bit on the high side.
Yeah.
For Bryce, ours, which was high last year, ours went down to 1.5%, about less than 1.5%. I think it's good, you should be at least familiar with it, be able to field questions at the town meeting on that, you should be at least familiar with it. Remember, school board meeting Saturday, 4 o'clock.
This Saturday?
Yes.
Yep.
The thing is, I'm not gonna defend the school board, but the thing is, at least 2/3 of their budget is contractual. And there's very little, wiggle room in their budget, because it's not, there's only a limited amount contractual. I wish they would be a little more judicious in the way they do it, but, I don't, that's the school board, they run their own bureaucracy.
2 p.m.?
Yes, no, 4 p.m.
4.
4 p.m. The one thing that they're not adding this, you know, the monthly one, they do the $1,000, community center
Yeah.
fund, they basically have a warrant for. It's
We-
not on this year because of, it's maxed out, I believe.
Yeah, we have a cap of 10,000 between the two of us, and it's about 9,500.
I don't know, drop my taxes.
Okay, continuing on. Mailbox D item, I'd like to discuss it non-public if I could, Lean.
That's what you were talking about.
Yes, I do have it.
You wanna talk about it?
Yes, I do. I think that the other two selectmen should be aware of it. And, I think it should be non-public. Gentlemen, if that's all right with you, it would be known within 5 minutes.
So you found it?
It did. It was too short. I was looking for something long.
That's the one we already signed?
No, no one signed it. I'm familiar with it. Okay, continuing on. Request to consider revising policy for public solid waste operator training. Dave, can you talk to that?
That's already something we've implemented.
You did, but I was curious as to whether the board could consider changing the wording a little bit.
So
Because,
we implemented it, but when you read it, like when Hope got the first request for it, it says that if I no longer work here, that they get the $50 refund back. So this is, when an employee starts at the transfer station, they will schedule him to go for the training
Okay.
and from DS, and when they go for that training, sometimes it's scheduled a month away, sometimes it's 2 months away. It's whenever the next one is available. So they'll schedule a worker there, so he can be working there until then, as long as there's people that have the DES requirements there. So what are you saying is, say we hire somebody and we schedule them and it's a month away,
Okay,
and they no longer work for the town, we have to pay for that $50 application fee with the state to get them scheduled for the DES. All this is saying is that we can request the $50 back from the state, and if the employee doesn't sign off on it, we can't get it back. So say the guy comes in late every day, we let him go. If the guy is scheduled for it, he's paid for it, he could still go there and go to another town,
gotcha.
whether they would or not. I don't think it's even worth having a policy for $50, but we did instate it. Woody's asking for it to keep his budget tight.
Okay.
He watches those,
the only concern that
Numbers.
I had from the bookkeeper was that when she read it, she thought, oh my gosh, this guy quit, or we fired him or let him go.
so when you read the heading, it says, if I no
I-
longer work there anymore,
It says I, and you sign your name, no longer work for the town of Dunbarton, so it just,
so as
Doesn't-
part of his new package, he gives this to an employee to sign off on it right
Got
in
it.
the beginning.
yeah.
But, she thinks, and whether the wording is cleaned up in the heading to make sure that we know that they're still working for us presently is,
In other words, you just wanna clean up the wording.
Yeah,
Can you come up with a proposal for next meeting?
okay,
Okay,
yeah,
that's all we need.
I'll amend it,
Okay, I have no issue with that. Just a little more explanation why we're doing this. I
Right.
think we'll be fine.
and that'll make the employee more comfortable when they're
In signing.
signing it.
so I was a little bit at fault, cause when Hope first asked me, I'm like, what are you talking about? I says, the guy didn't get fired, I just talked to Woody. And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure he's let go, cause it says right here, he's let go, and I'm like, I don't think so. And
Okay,
I had to think about it too.
very good.
Just housekeeping, I guess.
And credit card policy signed by all the town officials except the transfer, did Woody get a copy of the policy?
He did.
he did,
And no problems with that, or?
no, I told him we reviewed it and we amended it, so it was universal for everybody.
He need-
I'll ask him how come he didn't sign it.
Okay,
he's
maybe
been
just
in that
admin,
for-
admin oversight, hopefully. Okay,
I'll email him an electronic copy again.
okay, then, that closes the mailbox, I'm gonna open up for public comment. John, first row?
See, they pulled the plug on the hydro project?
Yes,
Away my topic.
No 400,000 worth of revenue
No.
coming down the stream.
Damn. Huh, I was kinda surprised.
but the thing is, and the money's gonna go elsewhere in the country, I think New England lost out.
There you go, that's why
Three
you don't
other, two
spend
other
it every
projects going
time.
on.
Well, remember, it really wasn't for us anyway, it was going down to New England.
We would've just increased our tax base, that's all it
Yeah.
was. Leo? Bob?
No.
Sir?
Well, John just answered my question.
Okay.
I was in the paper today about the, Northeast, Power Grid, whatever you wanna call it,
Yeah,
the Twin State project, they closed it down.
it must not have been profitable, that's the only reason I can see why they would
Yeah.
close it down.
Dunbarton was getting too much revenue out of it.
Not enough. You know, it's funny, our representative
See what I had.
called me on it and says, Mike, don't get hoodwinked, we're not getting any free electricity. I said, the board knows, we're only gonna get taxable revenue out of it for the improvements they make to the infrastructure, that's all we were getting, and we were well aware of that. And so that's why we wrote the letter of support, because, hey, it goes through Dunbarton, upgrade those lines, we start at 100% again for depreciation. Upgrade the transfer, upgrade the transfer, not transfer station, the substation. We get, anything you upgrade there, we get more value,
Right.
but nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, sorry about that, we'll try that, hopefully someone tries it again in the future. Okay,
On that subject, we did get a personal call from New England Hydro's representative the day before this came out in the paper to inform us that they were pulling the plug, so.
Send the check back.
Cause the governor says the paper, they didn't know anything about it,
Really?
Yep. said the state never got notified.
Wow.
She called
They're
me
gonna
too.
send them a letter or do something, I don't know why, when it happened, cause thought it was a done deal.
it was like, I feel like we've been hoodwinked. Okay, and gentlemen, I'd like to go in the non-public,
Bring it up to the
bring it back to the select board, yeah, let's take care of that now. I'll start with, who wants to go first? Justin?
I just have, an appointment paper for Selectmen Pro Tem, because I'm not allowed to be at the election on March 12th. So I'm making an appointment for my father, Robert Knoll, to be a Selectman Pro Tem in my absence.
Okay, thank you.
Are you gonna pro
First.
temp Mike for part of the thing?
No. The thing is, I'll make the proposal that we accept Robert Knoll as a pro tem.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
No, but he's done it a couple other times, he's done a good job on it from what I've seen.
My God, he's a very diligent in his work. His dad's better than him.
Saying that cause his
Oh, yeah.
brother.
Seen him around a lot.
Okay,
I'm ready to give him my job
No,
too.
he doesn't lie, believe me.
no, he's a pleasure to work with, I worked with him the last election, he does a good job,
Better than Dave, right?
much so.
He's moved to Knoxville,
I'm ready to go to coffee. Bobby?
he lives in Knoxville,
Yeah.
Knoxville?
Well, yeah.
Coffee, my Uncle Adrian's house on the
I
hill.
know, I looked at him, like, I can't.
Where were you at, you still?
Yeah.
I saw he pulled the permit, I saw the address, I go, yeah, he lives in Dunbarton.
It's been there a couple of years now.
Is
Since
it?
she passed, they refurbished it.
So the motion. is
Motion
voted on?
passes, yeah. Dave,
Yeah, that's all I had.
So I'm expecting both you guys to be at voting setup since I'm the only guy there full-time next day.
I'd like to remind the board that I was the only one that voted and set up last time.
Good, that's how I wanted again.
And, okay, go ahead, I'm waiting my turn, it's all right.
I stopped to see Mary and, she hadn't seen anybody back at the library, so I'm gonna make some calls this week to get that stuff rolling. My worry is the frost is gonna go out of the ground there and the door's gonna start working perfect again, they're gonna say, hey, there's no problem again, so.
But the locks do need to be repaired, so.
And the door, the weather stripping's already ripping off in the bottom.
Right, so I've got that down for Jim to repair, so I'm gonna,
They may be better off, instead of having the stripping on the bottom, maybe a sweep, that, you know, as you open the door out, going out,
Yeah.
a sweep would be better, I think.
they could do a combination of them too.
Yeah, because even my home door, the bottom one, just, after you open the door 10, 20 times, it rips out. Sometimes a sweep, where you just stick on, or at fix with
You
adhesive.
know that the threshold there probably has an adjustable strip in your house and you just screw it down a little bit.
Well, it's gone now, I'm not replacing that. All right.
Unscrew it a little bit so it comes up.
Yeah.
After the gas pipe, we know how you do this.
Have a qualified
Boy.
individual do it.
Well, you know, the thing is, the one who came out was, I'm gonna say, it was, he was doing the landscaping for me, Porter Weeks, and his partner. Boy, they were, you almost 4-letter words at me, like, who the blankety blank did a crappy job on this pipe? It almost blew up. And I'm like shrinking violet here, well, somebody did.
My wife,
Yeah.
Blame his wife.
Should go swear at the selectman?
you got anything else, Mike?
I just wanna go non-public. I just wanna say for the board, for everyone in attendance, I am up for election, I'm not an electioneering now, but this could potentially be my last select board. If it is, I've enjoyed working for the town of Dunbarton, and that's who I work for, and I think it's been a pleasure with you gentlemen. We've had disagreements, but at the end of the day, we usually come to a great consensus, so thank you for doing that. And putting up with my rants now and then, and so I appreciate that. And I do have rants now and then, I'll admit that. Even Bob was laughing tonight. I do have my rants now and then, don't I, Bob?
What's that?
I have my rants.
Yeah.
I can get off going sometimes, because I take some of the job to my heart, because I wanna do a good job for the town. So, but thank you, and the thing is, I'll see you election day, I'll do my best on election day to, do what my duties is.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Now, I'll make a public, motion to go non-public for RSA 91 subparagraph 3, Roman numeral 2. This is on